Hello?
Ask anyone who's ever worked in a hospital. I guarantee you they have stories.
There's nobody here. Relax. It's okay.
It felt that you're just not alone, that there's just something else there.
I feel these hands on my back and they push me.
I could have been burned alive.
Leave me alone!
This girl is freaking out. What are we supposed to do?
I can't get myself to stop shaking. My heart will not calm down.
That experience was the apex of all fear that I've ever experienced in my life.
During daylight hours, hospitals are busy hives of activity. But late at night, it's a different story.
At nighttime, especially during graveyard shift, the hospital is entirely dead. Lighting is extremely dim, maybe at about 20%. No movement, no activity.
To pay his way through university, Amit Aluwalia takes a part-time job as a night shift janitor in a big city hospital.
I was 19 years old when I started being a janitor. Being a part-timer meant that I had to work shifts that no one else wanted. And about 98% of the time, they were graveyard shifts.
Good job, kid.
Thanks.
Done here, eh?
Yeah.
Let me show you the kitchen.
Over here. So, I gotta do all this myself?
That's why you get paid the big bucks. Just be careful in here.
What do you mean?
The individual who was training me actually warned me. If you're ever working nights, just be careful. There's things that happen.
You can believe it if you want.
I was polite, I just nodded my head and thanked him, but deep down inside, I thought he was absolutely crazy. I never believed in the paranormal. My parents didn't believe in this. I was a product of mainstream education. If science says it doesn't exist, then hey, it doesn't exist. It was my first solo shift at the hospital, alone. It's about 3 a.m. and I was almost done mopping the cafeteria kitchen. As I went to put my mop back in the bucket, it wasn't there, but it was there a moment ago. At first, I had a moment of confusion. It's 3 a.m., it's late. The immediate reaction is to dismiss it. It was actually in a corner. I have no idea how it got there, but it was there. I just went over to pick up the mop bucket. now the mop was gone. What comes next is rationalization. I'm tired, I'm hungry. I imagined the entire thing. This is not happening. I had no idea what was coming. The next experience was when things got extremely real and extremely physical. My second shift was on a Saturday, and I was in charge of cleaning the exact same area. I remember seeing a pen flying as if someone or something had thrown it at me with the intent of striking me in the face. I immediately tried to scan the kitchen, only to find that, hey, I'm the only person here. And that's when I smelled something. It was cologne, men's cologne.
Hello? Hello?
The entire site is locked, it's secured. The only explanation is that someone was in the same room as me. The network of pots and pans started to move, bang against each other as if like a wind or a force was pushing it. I was beginning to question my own sanity. What the hell was going on? As I'm trying to make sense of everything, in my right ear, I hear a whisper.
Who's there?
The second I heard the whisper, again, knee-jerk reaction, you're looking all around, to your right, to your left. You could have heard it here. Maybe it originated from another spot.
Hello? Who's there?
It's a secured environment, especially at night. I was the only person there. At this point, I was legitimately scared. I dropped everything and I got out of there. I've never been that terrified in my entire life.
One very interesting aspect about Amit's experience is that it always seemed to happen between the hours of 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. They're almost prankster-ish in nature, little jabs and digs. And then things get worse.
As much as I wanted to quit, I didn't quit. I needed the money. I was a student at the time, and this affects my whole life. I had no choice but to tough it out. It's now 2 a.m. I'm expecting stuff to happen now. I'm on guard, I'm prepared. Nothing happened. And the next 2 nights, nothing, not a peep. It was just me. I felt more comfortable being in that environment. I wasn't on guard or on edge.
But Amit's sense of security is short-lived.
My mop bucket started moving, going missing. I thought I was being misplaced, but no, absolutely not. Because of the state of fear I was in, it's as if I was watching something unfold in front of me, frame by frame, second by second. I was petrified. And now to make things worse, the whispering returned, louder and angrier. You could feel the intent behind it, and the message said, just get out of this place. That was the scariest moment of my life.
Despite his fear, Amit shows up for his next shift.
I'm the son of immigrant parents who wanted me to become a doctor, lawyer, or engineer. As terrifying as all this was, I was absolutely driven to work in a place that I really didn't want to be in, because I needed the money. And it's just amazing the types of things that we can do for money.
The things that you warned me about?
Can't say I didn't warn you. If it makes you feel any better, you're not the only one.
I learned that what had happened to me, it was happening to other people as well. It wasn't just me. The janitorial department of that hospital had such a high rate of turnover. Every week or 2 weeks, people would just abruptly quit without giving a reason.
There was this guy, worked in the kitchen for years. When they finally made him head chef, started acting like he owned the place.
I was told that the hospital chef, he was a guy who was extremely territorial of all aspects of the kitchen.
Treated people horribly, always getting in arguments, throwing things at people.
One day, after getting into a fight with one of the managers or directors, he drank himself to death.
That's who's here.
It wasn't just a sigh of relief for me or validation. It was, oh my God, I'm not alone in this. There was a degree of relief, an even greater degree of, hey, I'm not crazy, which is always good.
In some cases, spirits can be territorial. Amit was coming in to the chef's kitchen. The spirit of the chef took this personally. And when Amit didn't take his first hints, he decided to up his game.
At one point in my shift, I had misplaced my sprayer bottle. I was looking all over for it, only to see my sprayer bottle was on a stove. And I can tell you right now, as a flammable liquid, I don't care how tired I am, there's no way I would leave something flammable on a stove. The spray bottle was meant to get my attention. Burners started turning on. Flames getting as high as 30, 40 centimeters. This thing lit a goddamn fire. I could have been burned alive. And that's when one of these sharp chef knives was chucked at me. In this moment, I thought maybe I'm going to die. That was it for me. That's when I hightailed it out of there. That experience was the apex of all fear that I've ever experienced in my life. Nothing's ever come close. Ask anyone who's ever worked in a hospital. I guarantee you they have stories. They have had experiences. I absolutely believe that something is out there. You can call it ghosts, spirits, entities, poltergeists, whatever. But there is something that exists that science can't explain.
It's 2018. Home care worker Sabrina Coulon
Peggy?
is about to start a new assignment.
I am a hospice home care worker. Hospice home care is people who are in their final stages of life, getting ready to pass, and they want to be home instead of in the hospital. I had started a new client.
Hey, Peggy. You okay?
She had Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Her daughter wanted to go on vacation, and she had asked me if I could stay with her mother around the clock for the 2 weeks that she was gone.
I'm Sabrina, your home care worker.
Oh, Sabrina, yes. Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm fine, yeah. I'm gonna be staying with you for a little while.
That would be so lovely.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
She was great. She was full of life. She would tell me all kinds of stories because she used to travel all the time.
Good to see you, honey.
One night, I was just making her something very simple. She just wanted some soup. She wasn't having great days anymore. She was kind of sitting in the chair a lot and sleeping a lot.
Peggy, do you have a story for me today?
You could kind of feel that things started getting a little heavy in the house. I hear a door slam. I darted over to the living room where my client was. And she was still sitting in her recliner. I heard something very weird above me. So I go in the bedroom that I'm staying in. There's nobody there. There was no explanation for it. It really spooked me.
It's okay. There's nobody here.
Now I'm talking to myself to try to calm myself down. There's nobody here. Relax. It's okay. The temperature in the room just dropped. It was ice cold in there. I could see my breath. And I'm cooking over a hot stove. It scared me.
The first indication that something isn't right with Sabrina's new workplace is the temperature change. This is not unusual in cases of paranormal activity, and some have theorized that what's happening here is the heat energy from the air is being leached out and is being converted into some different form of energy, and the spirits are going to use that energy in order to manifest.
then my hair got pulled, and it was enough to jolt my head back. I turn around, and there's nobody there.
What the hell?
And there is no way my client made it to me from the recliner to the kitchen.
Oh, I swear I turned that off.
I feel these hands on my back, and they push me against the stove. It was so hard and with such force, there was no stopping myself from hitting the stove. I burned my hand. And then I turn around. What is this thing standing in front of me, so close to my face? This is what just pushed me into the stove. It was dark, and it was evil, and I was terrified of it. The feeling that I had was fear and intimidation. It did not want me there because it was trying to hurt me. I need to get out of this house.
Sabrina quickly bandages her hand and flees the house.
I can't get myself to stop shaking. My heart will not calm down. I can't even process what I just went through. I believe in ghosts. I am not intimidated by them. But this one was different. I really felt like this spirit was just trying to kill me.
The attack that Sabrina has just suffered is very unusual in the paranormal realm. Pushing someone takes a great deal of energy to manifest, and that tells us that in this case, it is a very strong entity indeed. Because it is so intense, because it is so violent, this entity clearly means her harm. And it could be a sign that there are worse things still to come.
I still have a job to do. I have to get back inside to my client. I can't leave her inside with this spirit. She's this fragile woman, and she is sick as it is. And if this spirit can do this to me, what can that spirit do to her?
Peggy, hi. We're gonna get you to bed, okay? Yeah, it's bedtime. Yeah, oh, there we go. Yeah, all right. Good night, Peggy.
I kept looking over my shoulder. It felt like someone was, staring at me. In the window. I can tell that it's an older woman. She has a very slender face. She had white hair, and she had these dark, piercing eyes. I I couldn't help but stare at them, because when I say that they were black, I mean black as night. They were deep and dark, and they just pierced right through you. And then she's out of the window. She's completely gone. It was not okay. It was not okay at all. I am scared. I know she has already physically pushed me. She's already pulled at my hair. I know that she doesn't want me in that house. I am terrified of what the rest of the night is gonna have. I'm just mentally exhausted. I just wanna forget everything that's going on. I don't wanna deal with this anymore. I just wanna go to sleep. The living room I could keep very well lit. I felt like being somewhere that I could light up with lights was the safer of my option than being in a closed bedroom. I was so wrong. I felt hands on my shoulder. I could feel the fingers digging into my shoulders, and I could feel something pushing my knees down. I can't move at all. I can't even breathe. Thinking about it now, my hands are sweating, my heart is racing. I'm scared. I am scared just having to relive this. It may have been less than a minute. I'm not even sure at this point. I've pretty much lost concept of time because it's like the whole world is just standing still. I start feeling her grip off of me. I rolled onto the floor and crawled across the floor as fast as I could to get away from her. And she's following me, screaming at me to get out. I don't want you in here. Get out. Now I'm getting out of this house. I'm not staying in this house.
Get out!
I don't even have a good concept or recollection of how I got outside. I remember hearing laughing. You could tell this spirit just enjoyed the fear. She lived off of making me terrified. She was laughing. She thought it was funny. Now I'm mad. I'm mad that she got me to the point where I'm outside at nighttime, scared like I'm a child. I'm going in this house and I'm gonna remove this spirit. I have all of my focus removing her from the house. I can feel her.
I am removing you from this place now.
She's whispering in front of me, behind me, trying to distract me. So so that I can't do this to her. I completely focused on removing her and her spirit from this house.
I am removing you from this place now! Go back where you belong!
I'm able to get her out of the house. I just felt so relieved.
Come on, Peggy. Won't you try just a little bit?
My client stopped responding, stopped eating, stopped talking. Everything changed after this night. She passed within 2 days. And I actually told her daughter what had happened.
There was some stuff going on. You won't believe me. I'll sound absolutely insane, but I swear to God it's true.
And I had explained what the lady looked like and the face when I had saw her.
And she was just horrible, and I don't know who she...
Sabrina, I'm sorry.
And she says, "You're not gonna believe this."
This is so hard.
That's her sister. Her sister was the meanest, nastiest woman you'd ever want to meet. And her whole life, she spent torturing my mother until the day she died. I have definitely been put more on guard when it comes to the spirit world. I definitely think I underestimated the spirit world before I met this lady. I feel like this whole experience changed my life. Because I had such a passion for working with people in hospice. I loved being there for them in their final moments. And that's taken away from me because I'll never do it again. When you realize that spirit can take something from you and your own life from you so quickly, it changes everything. Everything. It makes you value life.
It's 2007 in a small Canadian city. Brenda Gansky is working as a data analyst at a local hospital.
To make decisions that are best for our patients, you have to have data. And my job is to collect it and analyze it to help people make those decisions that they need to make.
Caffeine?
Yes. You just walk in and right from there, your day is just flying.
So I see they got you chained at the desk again.
You have no breaks. There's no time to get a coffee.
Thank you so much.
It's a very small, quaint, rural facility in a small town. And the staff there, I can't say enough about these people. It's definitely a family atmosphere. I've worked in big, I've worked in small, and this place has my heart. But I don't think there was a moment from the second I walked in that I didn't know that there was something else going on in that place. It felt that you're just not alone, that there's just something else there. It's almost like you can physically reach out and touch it. Strange things would happen there. I would leave things a certain way. You come back, guaranteed something's gonna be moved in a place that doesn't make logical sense for it to get there.
One day, Brenda finds that the hospital is even stranger than she thought.
I started walking up the back stairwell to go towards the unit that I was collect my stuff and I could go home for the day. As soon as I opened the door, quiet. You could hear a pin drop. And then all of a sudden, I could hear something. It sounded like kids giggling, playing. And I'm like, that doesn't make much sense because the upper floor was where offices were and the day clinics, and nobody should be there. I was completely scared. It really sounded like they were everywhere around me. I'm a very logical person. I'm hearing a kid, it must be a child. There's got to be somebody hiding up here. Probably hiding behind a door. I felt panic. Locked, 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 locked. Locked, 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 locked. It is like they're just playing with me. It made me freak out. There was nobody there. I have no idea what's happening.
Shaken by her experience, Brenda looks for answers.
I see the charge nurse who was on.
Can I ask you a question? I was getting my stuff and I heard it was like a kid was there.
Yeah, welcome to the hospital.
What do you mean?
She told me that the second floor actually used to be a children's wing. And they regularly on nights hear kids running up and down those hallways playing. She says, it's just a rite of passage. You're now part of us. You heard the kids.
One of the first things that Brenda reported was hearing kids running around, hearing footsteps and laughing. And when we get hospitals that used to have some sort of pediatric ICU or pediatric ward, then sometimes we'll get this phenomenon of kids running around, and it's simply the residual energy. It's imprinting on the environment. It's not the ghosts of dead children, but rather the imprint or record of these kids running around the building.
And then something else happened to me. It was so strange. I would put charts in the chart rack and they would come out. In the beginning, I thought it was me. Maybe I'm just shoving them in wrong. Maybe I'm not paying attention.
Is somebody here?
And then all of a sudden, you see it pop out and then fly out. These things are coming towards your face. I was freaking out.
Stop it! Stop it!
Whatever that energy is trying to get my attention, I found. If you would talk to them and address them in that way, it would stop quite immediately. And that is truly what I felt was happening. There's just something else there. One day, I see something else going on in that place. There's a man there. You see him from the waist up only. The lower body is transparent. And he's almost semi-transparent. But you can clearly see he's wearing an older style white shirt with suspenders. And he's wearing an older style hat, kind of like from the 20s or 30s. And by the time he hit the end of the hallway, he's gone. I was freaking out.
And it was half of him.
Yeah, no legs?
Yes, how do you know?
Yeah, well, a lot of people have seen him.
It gave me a lot of relief knowing that what I had seen and experienced, other people had. It wasn't a secret, and that, honestly, I'm not crazy.
Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
Brenda and her colleague hear the frightened voice of a young patient.
Leave me alone! Why are you staring at me? Please just leave me alone! Leave me alone!
It's okay.
Look, he's right there.
You're dreaming.
No.
There's nobody there. There's
No,
nothing
he's there. He's right
There's
there.
nothing there.
No,
it's okay.
he's there.
It's okay.
There's this 13-year-old girl, petrified, pale, standing on a bed, in the gown.
There's nothing there.
She's screaming. Oh my God, he's in there, he's staring at me. This girl is freaking out. What are we supposed to do?
Tell him to go away.
Go away!
Tell him again.
Go away! Go away! Please!
Thank you.
If somebody's scaring you, it doesn't matter if he's a ghost or a person. You give him your limits and you say, no, this is not okay. You go. I think that most people who work in healthcare, especially when you work in an area that could have a lot of death in it, who all obviously have seen these things, they are believers not only in the afterlife, but ghosts. If you're looking at the theory behind ghosts, where they end up being is where there was trauma or an emotional experience. And that's a hospital. That's not a graveyard. That's a hospital.